Lions and Carolina. Now, Gator, we have the up-down theory, and we have the term trap game. But I sat down over the last 2 days and tried to carve a path to the Lions losing this game. And on paper, I can't do it. I can't. So could it be up-down? Sure, it could be up-down. Could it be a trap game? I don't think it can be a trap game. I think a trap game happens when you are established as a good team, not when you are trying to establish yourself as a good team. I think when you're trying to establish yourself as a good team, which the Lions are doing, and they look pretty damn good, but when you're coming up and you haven't been to the mountaintop, you haven't even won a division, you haven't even made the playoffs, you haven't hosted or won a playoff game. Like all these things, I don't think you fall for trap games. Could up-down theory play a role? Could Goff melt down? I mean, I guess. But Carolina has one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. Their secondary is banged up with a couple of starters out. You've got Detroit, which is excellent at protecting the quarterback, number 3 in the NFL. In sack percentage allowed, which, and the Lions' offensive line is trending towards being healthy for only the second time in the last couple of years. So they have all 5 guys ready to go. When the Lions have the football, big advantage Detroit. When Carolina has the football, Carolina rushed for 320 yards against Detroit last year.
Mm-hmm.
This is game 5. Detroit hasn't allowed 320 yards rushing all season long. Carolina just passed 320 last week. So, I mean, we're talking about, and that's 320 for the year. They hadn't passed 320 yards until midway through the game last week. That team has taken a step back. They've got a rookie quarterback. On paper, I don't see a path to Carolina winning this game. On paper. Now it's the NFL, and I know better than to say there's no chance that the Lions lose this game. I know better. But I don't remember really ever feeling this way about the Lions, that it's going to take some fluky stuff for them to lose.
Well,
and I'm even uncomfortable saying that, but it feels like the truth to me.
It does. And further evidence of that is this is really uncomfortable territory. When was the last time the Lions were double-digit favorites? They're a 10-point favorite right now. This is uncomfortable as a Lions fan. Mm-hmm. Like, I think they win this game, and they probably shouldn't have much of an issue with it because on paper, you're right. It's hard to find that path to victory for Carolina. But all you got to do is look at last night's game. Bears were woeful going into it.
Yep.
The Bears looked like the competent football team last night. I don't know if the spirit of Dick Butkus lifted them over the Commanders or what, but
I'll buy that.
Well, okay, but offensively did Dick Butkus have a conversation with DJ Moore before the game or something? I mean, it was incredible how he and Justin Fields are locked in. So because of that, and because we know that it's any given Sunday in the NFL, you got to keep on your toes at all times.
Any given Sunday, you're right.
Yeah. That being said, I'm with you though. It's, even though I like Bryce Young as a prospect, he hasn't shown much of anything yet. I really like what the Lions do. I mean, the Lions they're here's a stat that I look at prior to games all the time. Yards rushing and yards given up rushing. The Lions average 136 yards a game on the ground. Carolina gives up 136 yards on the ground. I actually expect the Lions to be able to run better because that's the average that Carolina gives up, and the Lions have a pretty decent running attack. So and there's such a disparity the other way. Carolina only averages 95 yards a game on the ground. The Lions give up 61.
Mm-hmm.
We know what happened last year, but more importantly, that team in Allen Park that's practicing today, that'll be playing in Ford Field on Sunday, they know what happened last year. So that adds to that giant chip that resides on their shoulder each week. And It's tough. I don't know. I mean, knock on wood here, right? Barring injuries, it's not something that you would expect to rear its ugly head. They do have some playmakers, though.
Kang, how you feel about this game? Is Carolina, you craft a path for a Carolina win?
You really can't, other than it's any given Sunday, right? Now, we all think the Lions are a really good team. How good are they? Because even really good teams will stink it up twice a year. The Elites team, do they ever stink it up? No one goes undefeated, but their losses are usually against maybe a tough opponent.
Maybe I'll grant it happens once. I think Buffalo's really good, and they lost to the Jets in opening night.
I can't tell with Buffalo right now, but yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, the Cowboys, are they just a good team that happened to lose to the Cardinals? I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, I think Cowboys I think they're good, not elite. Yeah.
Are the Lions in the same category?
They're not elite.
I don't think the Lions are elite.
So they are available to be upset? I mean, it could happen.
Could have a stinker.
But none of us can see the path. I mean, other than a catastrophic injury to like a bunch of players, if Jared Goff started the game with a pick six, I'd still be like, well, the Lions are still going to win this game. Like, that's how confident I feel. I feel no threat whatsoever from the Panthers. If they somehow lose this, I start going back, well, we have a Seattle problem. Do we have a Carolina problem? But this isn't even the same team that they lost to last year. New quarterback, new receivers, new coach.
Honestly, Lions fans, 248-539-9797, do you feel as comfortable as we feel? All three of us.
Which makes me uncomfortable.
It's uncharted territory. It really is. I'm fully confident they're winning that game.
They're a 10-point favorite.
Which isn't the biggest spread in the NFL. Miami versus the Giants is, but it's 10 points.
But it's the Lions that are favored by 10 points. Honestly, when was the last time the Lions were favored by double digits?